So after my treatment, I had a whole year basically where I had to give up life as it was and just go in and do all this work. I actually ended up going back to my job for a year. And it was really weird because I remember saying to you at the time, I'm not going to go back to teaching. It just doesn't feel like that's what's going to happen. Something's going to change. But I did. And I remember saying to you, this is so weird. Don't know why I'm back here. Anyway, I started bringing crystals into my classroom. And affirmation cards. And I had been at that point an avid yoga practitioner since the start of lockdown. And had been practicing every single day. So I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to set up a lunch club for free. And I'm going to teach yoga to children very gently. But really, I'm going to try to help them to, for want of a better word, and this is how I say it with the kids, squeeze out their stock emotions and anxieties and stresses, because especially coming back from COVID, it was off the scale. These poor children, you know, their whole world and all their sense of security stopped. It was like the ground was pulled from under their feet. And whilst before COVID, they were already big signs of stress and anxiety, and we could talk all day about why I do believe mobile phone use and social media is a big part of it. But that's another, you know, we are where we are. So anyway, I thought, yeah, do you know what? There's something I can do here. And so I chatted with a group of my children, 10-year-olds at the time, and one of them actually said, oh, you should call it Zen Club. And I said, yeah, I should, and I will. And I actually remember the child saying to me, and if it makes millions of money, you owe me half.
Oh, gosh.
So I just started doing this in my lunchtime thinking, okay, I might have 3 or 4 kids come. At one point I had about 35 to 40 children, split between boys and girls. I had most of the football team, and they would squeeze into the space that I could get into and absolutely love it. And we did a bit of yoga. I teach just little tiny bits of the things we've talked about today. They loved the Shavasana, the relaxation at the end, where I would then sort of count them down, almost sort of semi, I won't say hypnotizing, but deep relaxing, let's say. We'd take steps in our mind down a pathway, and I'd take them into a house. And each week we would go in and delve into a different room in the house, and the house was them. And I would bring them to see where things were out of balance or out of alignment, and we could, you know, relegate the temperature. Sometimes we'd turn on the big television screen in the lounge and there'd be a message for them. And of course, I'm just trying to connect them to their higher selves. But the kids, wow, they loved it. And they would come out and say, Claire, guess. Or at that time I was called Miss Watson. Miss Watson, guess what something said to me, and oh, there was this object in my room, or I had this message. And one time we'd go down to the coast, and you know, a bottle would wash up and there'd be a message for them, and they would all receive their messages coming from their own higher self. So this is where it began.